captain of the New York Yankees, Aaron Judge. 43 games through the season. Here's the stats. 412 batting average, 15 home runs to lead Major League Baseball. Obviously, 412 leads the league as well. 40 runs, 41 RBIs, an OPS of 1.279, a 4.0 WAR with 43 games, so he's on pace for just around 15 plus WAR. And he's got a WRC plus of 252. Barry Bonds 244 is the all-time record at the end of the season. Errol, what do you think he finishes at this year?
I want him to finish at 400. Everybody has said that nobody since Ted Williams will ever end up with 400 or more at the batting average, but he's doing something that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. I think it's incredible. You could pick any stat, every single stat on that list. He's definitely the Triple Crown winner if he continues moving forward with the numbers that he has. It's incredible because me and Joba, what was it, a couple of months ago, were arguing who's the best player right now in baseball. He had Ohtani and I had Judge. I don't think there's an argument right now on what Aaron Judge is doing over the last 3 years. Comparison to Ohtani, who's been one of the best players in the league. If you compare all these guys' numbers, or the top players, even Mike Trout over the last 10 years, nobody's done what Aaron Judge has done in the last 3 years. It's incredible what he's putting up right now, and he's clean. As far as what we know, he's clean. He's a clean player. So he's big, 6'8", 5-tool player, a guy that didn't get called up by the New York Yankees until he was 24, 25 years old, and now didn't take the most money he could. He could have taken $500 million. He is by far better than Juan Soto or any of these guys that got the money that they got, even Shohei Ohtani. But he took less. He took $89 or $390 million to stay with the Yankees because he wants to be a Yankee. He wants to win with the Yankees. It's an incredible story. He's a great kid. I've never met him, but anybody that's told me who's met him, even Nick Goody tells me, not only is he a good kid, he stands for what you want a Yankee to stand for. As a captain, as a face of baseball, he's everything you want. And that's what you expect from a captain of arguably the greatest franchise in professional sports history. I love it. He's such a good Samaritan, too. I love what he's doing right now for baseball. And it has your eyes locked in. Win or lose with the New York Yankees is what is Aaron Judge putting up every single game. So it's fun to watch.
Joba, what's it like to play with somebody who's on a heater like this? Obviously, this is historic what he's doing. But, when a guy's going just, everything drops in, everything's, a great barreling it up, or on the other side of the mound, just you're hitting your spots every single time. No, there's so much movement. It's you surprising yourself. When you play with someone like that, or when you've had those times as well, but when someone's on a heater, what's it like being around them? What's it like, when you're like that, and how did people treat you in those situations?
You just let them go. You don't really do anything. You kind of just let them be, because it obviously whatever they're doing working, if he decided to eat a peanut butter and Spam sandwich, you get it to him every day. You don't change it up. And you as a player, and baseball players are superstitious as it comes, that they eat the same thing, they do the same thing, and it's just so fun to watch, because it's weird because you then expect them to always get a hit come through, and then you're surprised. Usually it's the other way around. But I think what's more impressive too is obviously almost 2 months into the season, still be hitting over 400, which is impressive. Is WRC, which has now become a huge conglomerate in the game of baseball. But if you look at his last 162 games, he's hitting over 360 with 65 homers and over 140 RBIs. And just to carry that over and continue to, and it wasn't it was just 1 year. It's he had an off season, and then he gets in his own head, or so many things can happen, right? And for him to just continue to do it, I think what the most impressive thing is how he handles himself first and foremost with all the attention. And I think he's like the second or third longest to carry a 400 plus batting average to start a season. And do I think it's realistic to hit 400? No. Do I think he'll get close? He'll end the year at 360-ish if he continues the way that he's going. But then it just also
if he does that, it's one of the greatest seasons of all time. If he does that.
Yeah, and it depends. I had this argument with all the fans and stuff on X, Twitter, whatever you guys call it. And it was like, what's his number? Because when he hit 62, I predicted it. And, we had that conversation because I was like, realistically, what do you think you got? Like, is he going to continue this pace? Is he going – and everybody goes through slumps. Nobody is going to – if he does this all year and hits 408 with 65 and 100, it's the greatest season ever. But is that realistic? No, it's not. And, he's going to get his strikeouts. He's had 3 strikeout games. And, his average fell to like 380, but then he goes 3 for 4. He goes 3 for 3. And he hasn't fell into that like slump. He's had some off games, but what he's been, and this is one thing why he didn't get up as early as a lot of people thought he would, was because his plate zone discipline and the things that he was doing. But he's become such a better hitter. I mean, he's 33 years old right now, and he's continually got better.
Hey, Joba, do you know what his strikeout percentage is this year? It's his best ever by a lot.
That was exactly my point. Is like
21%
he can
this
yeah,
year.
and he continues to get better with his strike zone discipline of not swinging balls out of the zone, and it's just tough. He's gonna get the Barry Bonds treatment. And I remember a great story. I can't remember who was telling it, but he got like 8 pitches to hit and got walked like 7 times, intentionally walked 7 times, and he hit 5 home runs, and he literally got like 7 or 8 pitches to hit. And so he's gonna start getting that treatment, and he's not gonna miss him, and he hasn't been missing him. And I think that's just a kudos to him in understanding parts of his game where as he's gotten older, he's gotten better. And I understand early on in your career where, not a lot of people know you and, you have those hot years, but I'm so impressed with him, not only from, and I didn't get to know him. I actually was fortunate enough when I was rehabbing my elbow, one of my rehab guys was actually at Fresno State with him. And they were like, he was always that guy. He always worked hard. He was always the biggest dude. I mean, he won the college World Series home run derby. And so everybody knew who he was. And just obviously as stature-wise, you're going to know who he is. But for me, the most impressive thing is to see how he's not rested on his laurels. Like when he got the contract, he's continued to get better. And for somebody like that, and especially with the eyes on him that are, like if this is happening, and no disrespect to the smaller market teams by any means, and I don't mean it this way, but if this is, and I say the same thing for myself, because if I did what I did in Milwaukee, nobody would have cared. But I did it in the biggest media market in the world, and he continues to do it, and he continues to get better and handles himself in such a professional manner and being what it is, where, like Errol said, he could have gone and got more money, but he knew the importance of what it was, and obviously the opportunities that New York creates, but yet he continues to get better and better every year in certain areas of his game. And there's certain areas where he didn't excel at that year. And now, like you just said, 21%. That's his best yet. And he's been in the big leagues for how many years, folks? And he's 33 years old. It's not like, he's Soto and came in when he was 20 years old. He's been in the big leagues for over 7 years. And he continually gets better. And that's the thing that I just respect the crap out of him for, of finding little holes in his game that he can become. Wasn't a great outfielder at first. What did he do? He worked at it. And he did the small things to make his game complete. He's never going to be a 50 stolen base guy, but he's going to get you 15, and he still has the threat to be able to steal a base when need be. And he's so fun to watch. he's one of those guys, like, even if you're not a Yankees fan and there's not a lot, it's either you hate him or love him, one way or the other. But he's one of those guys it's hard not to root for just because of the way he carries himself and how he's made his game
He's a
better and how
Yankee, 6'8",
and he's made the game of baseball fun.
built like a
when
machine.
When you got guys literally like that don't talk baseball and they're cutting in on an event, was it conference championship of football or whatever, they're cutting in to see if he's going to break the record and hit a home run, like that, you're doing something. This dude is special, and I wish he can stay healthy. He's had some weird freak injuries, getting hit on the hand, his toe.
Not
in,
for the last 2
LA.
years. I mean, except the toe, he's been pretty damn good, and he's played consistently, and that's what you want to see with your best player.